Hey everybody, I'm still alive! Took me 9 months, but I finally got something new to upload. This time though, I'm just going to be going back to my regular uploads, so you'll probably be seeing my stuff pop up every week like I did before. Back to normal, pretty much. You probably don't care about that though, you just care about what I'm doing in this video. In this video, I'll be doing something brand new for this channel. Today I'll be doing my first Pokemon challenge video. I've wanted to do something like this for a while now, but I could never figure out how to get it to work quite right. See, the problem with a challenge video is that if I make one of these videos, I can't make any others because I won't have space to store them or edit them. Like you've probably seen, I didn't upload for this long because of how much trouble I was having with recording, storing, and editing this specific video. There was so much struggle with this thing, it made me want to bleach my own mouth. It was terrible. As much fun as this was to make, you might not see very many more of them in the future, which is a shame, but having 3/4 of a year with absolutely nothing overrules the fun I get from the challenges. This is also a bit of an easy challenge since I have a large pool of Pokemon with many different types, stats, and moves. Also, quick note, I chose Pokemon Leaf Green instead of Fire Red because of the version exclusives. There's Bellsprout for Leaf Green and Oddish for Fire Red. It didn't have anything to do really with stats or moves, it was just personal preference of Bellsprout over Oddish. Now, let me explain the rules for this challenge. The only Pokemon I am allowed to use in battle are First Form 3-stage Pokemon. The only Pokemon I am allowed to catch are First Form 3-stage Pokemon. No items can be used in battle, but items outside of battle and held items are allowed. I must catch every single Pokemon that fits into the rules, except for the unobtainable version exclusive Pokemon. And if a Pokemon is accidentally caught or gifted to me, it will not be counted in the total registered Pokedex. With all that said, let the battle begin. To start off, I name myself and my rival. The player after me, and my rival after my friend Will. I'd plug his stuff, but he doesn't really have any, so just tell him how much you like bikes in the comments. He will definitely get a kick out of that. Now, I'm sure you have probably seen lots of these challenges like this before, but unlike most other challenges where the player disposes of their starter as soon as they get the correct Pokemon to do their run with, my starter will be an integral part of my team for the rest of the game. But even though I have no access to any fire types throughout the challenge, I will never, in my life, choose Charmander as my starter, so sticking to old reliable, I choose Squirtle. I name him Shell Slice since that's what I always name my Squirtle. There isn't really a reference to anything, I just thought it sounded cool when I was like 8 and it never went away. Now I know just about nothing has happened yet, but we can actually already get another teammate. Receiving the Pokeballs from Professor Oak, I go up to Route 1 and caught Burb the Pidgey. This little guy is going to be an absolute asset throughout the rest of this challenge. He's a real speedy little bird and, not that weak either, so this is going to be a good guy to have. After that, I just head into the forest and pick up 2 more party members. 420 the Weedle. P.S. This is the part where you laugh at my hilarious joke. And the slightly less hilariously named Pillakilla the Caterpie. These 2 are completely useless. Nothing good can really be done with them, but they're teammates and I have to catch every single Pokemon that falls under the categories of this challenge, so I'm catching them. With a whopping 4 party members in tow by the first gym, I, absolutely annihilate Camper Liam and then move on to the big man himself, Brock. Brock brags pretty heavily about his rock-hard team, but forgets the one weakness of all rock-hard things, the immense power of a cold shower. And, in this case it's a light spray of bubbles, but you know what I mean. I started out with Burb to get him some experience, and then brought in Shell Slice. I misused a tackle, but it wasn't a big deal anyways, because I was still able to set up 4 withdraws, and then really took out every single thing Brock loved in his entire life with about 4 bubbles. It wasn't a big difficulty, and I wasn't really thinking it was going to be. With Brock's dreams shattered into little broken pieces, I'm able to make it over to Route 3 and catch myself a Nidoran female, which I name Queen Shiva. I then catch another Nidoran. That one will be used to be traded for a Nidoran male later in the game. Queen Shiva isn't all that phenomenal as a Pokemon, and the poison typing is just absolutely abysmal in this game. But her Poison Point ability does have some use, and she also has some pretty good move type coverage, so she'll probably be an alright teammate. After that, we get our first evolution of the run. Oh, it's so cool. I love it when evolutions happen. It's such a cool progression point. And oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, Weedle, you're staying like this. Forever. But don't worry about that, because now we have a new teammate. Geodude. Or, well, maybe we don't, because it seems I'm out of Pokeballs. I run over to the nearest mart and, grab at least 10, that's enough to catch a Geodude. Then I run on back and catch my Geodude. I name him Dwayne after, well, come on, he's a rock. I think you can figure this one out. This Pokemon is going to be absolutely amazing though. He's got great moves, great stats, great typing, and oh, he lost to a Magnemite. I'm sure that was just a fluke though. I mean, he's going to be a great Pokemon no matter what. Like, so what? One Magnemite loss? That's nothing. It's fine. It's nothing to be— Are you kidding me? Dwayne! Dwayne! It's a Zubat, Dwayne! How are you losing? Despite Dwayne's failures, we're able to make it past the incredibly powerful Zubat and rob a man of his life's work. You know, the thing we stopped that last guy from doing. I'm given the option of a fossil, and I choose the Dome Fossil. It's probably a good thing I said that, though, or else you guys would ask. Now that I think about it, you should ask anyway. Comments are good for the— Oh boy! Is that a cease and desist letter? I love these things. This can go right next to my Scott the Woz one. Legal problems aside, I make it to Cerulean City and immediately challenge my rival. He's in the way of two really important Pokemon for fighting Misty, so I kinda gotta do this now. Things started out a bit poorly when I sent out Burb to fight his Pidgeotto. I didn't realize it had Keen Eye, so my sand attacks did nothing. But when I sent out Dwayne, a couple of rock throws did the trick and it went down pretty quickly. Next was his Bulbasaur, but Burb and 420 actually handled that pretty well. Burb did some serious damage and then got put to sleep, and then I sent out 420 and just finished him off. I'm lucky, because normally that Bulbasaur can be really scary in this fight. Abra can't do anything, so Queen Shiva and Pilakilla just get some easy experience. And then last was his Rattata. It isn't a super big threat or anything, and Pilakilla took it down pretty easily with a double kick. Now that my rival's no longer blocking Route 24, I can go catch my two new party members. Bella the Bowsprout, the name's a reference to my Nuzlocke, you should go watch that. And Abra.
There we go.
No! No! Stay in the ball. No! Oh! Come on, Abra. Yes! Yes! Yeah! Finally! Oh my god. Yeah, so that was an hour of my life I'll never get back. Not kidding you. Full hour took me to get one Abra. But yeah, now I have Houdini. Way to go, whoop-de-doo. He's so good, he's a very good Pokemon, whatever. I then walked in on something I don't think I was supposed to and had to help a furry get out of their fursuit, but that all went well and they gave me a ticket to the furry convention. Great. With my new grass type in tow and my mind slightly recovered from the Abra debacle, I challenge Misty. I started off the battle with a Vine Whip that took Staryu into yellow, and it used Harden, which doesn't matter since all grass moves are special in this game. Misty healed it with a Super Potion, but another Vine Whip put Staryu back in the yellow. Then it got in a last weak Water Pulse before going down. Misty sent out Starmie, who hit with a powerful Swift before being put to sleep by Sleep Powder, and in an unlucky turn of events, it just woke up the next turn. It then knocked out Bella with another Swift, so I sent out Burb, but he was only able to chip away at Starmie's health a little bit with a Gust and a Quick Attack before finally going down. Lastly, I sent out Shell Slice, who was finally able to finish it off with a couple of bites. 2 gyms down, 6 to go. There really isn't a point in keeping 420 and Pilakilla on the team anymore, since they just have about no good moves and their stats are just awful. So I leave Pilakilla at the daycare, tell her I'm going out to get Moo Moo Milk, and never come back. In the underground tunnel, I trade the second Nidoran female I caught with a girl named Sage for her Nidoran male named Mr. Nido. I'm probably not going to use him though, since Bella and Queen Shiva are filling the role of Poison type pretty well.
It's a terrible roll, but hey, they're filling it nonetheless. I make it to the furry convention that Bill gave me the ticket for. It's on a boat, so I can't escape. That's great, they've thought of everything. But everything seems to be okay in here because I got Brick Break that somebody just left lying around, and a chance to fight my rival. After Will assures me he just came here ironically, we start the battle. In the first battle, everything was starting off well with Dwayne taking out his Pidgeotto in just a couple rock throws, but then his Ivysaur did not miss a single sleep powder. A 75 accuracy move, and he did not miss one of them. I use sleep powder on Bella, and never is that accurate. I have no idea how he didn't miss a single one. An absolutely crazy anomaly of a battle. Luckily, the second time, after Dwayne did the same thing and took out his Pidgeotto with a couple rock throws, Burb was able to put that whole sleep powder problem to rest pretty easily because after spamming Sand Attack, it becomes basically impossible to hit a 75 accuracy move. And then, after all that, two Gusts took it out. Next was his Raticate, but Queen Shiva actually took him out pretty easily with a couple of double kicks, not too much of a problem there. Last was his Kadabra, but Shell Slice took out over half of Kadabra's health with a bite, got bite disabled, but it wasn't a problem because he finished him off with a critical water gun. With Mr. Nito learning the HM cut from the captain, I'm able to head up to Route 9 so I can catch a new party member and go a different direction than most people usually go. Don't judge me, this is what I always do whenever I play through this game. Thanks to this unusual direction, though, I'm able to get into Rock Tunnel where my newest teammate is, Punchy the Matchup. Fighting type is a pretty good type in general, and Punchy will be able to learn pretty much all of the best fighting type moves, so she's going to be a great teammate. After making it through the tunnel, I heal up my team and do the only story-related thing here, the rival fight. Like normal, Dwayne took out his Pidgeotto with just a couple of rock throws, and this time, Burb was able to take out his Ivysaur because instead of using the turn-consuming sleep powder, it just used poison powder, meaning I could attack back. Will sent out Gyarados, so I countered with Dwayne, but it didn't go well for him as he got flinched from bites and then went down in a thrash. I sent out Queen Shiva, but she also stood no chance and got thrashed down. Gyarados is confused now, so I sent out Bella to poison powder it so it could slowly chip down its own health, and then started beating it down with sludge bombs. It worked, and it went down. Fourth is Will's Kadabra, but it didn't stand any chance against Shell Slice, who took it out in 2 bites. Last is Will's Growlithe, so I sent out Punchy, but he got intimidated, so I switched back into Shell Slice to just water gun him down. It went fine, he just got burned in the process, nothing too major. With that done, I can go to Celadon City and immediately fight another battle, Erica. Erica is one of the weakest gym leaders, but her Victory Bell can still be a threat, so I sent out Queen Shiva to just kinda get chipped away and slowly set up 4 Tail Whips on it so I could make sure to take it out with a stronger teammate. I probably have about 100 better matchups I could have chosen, but I decided to send out Bella against Victory Bell to prove that yes, Bella can indeed beat a Victory Bell, and she did. Next is the only mono grass type in the game, so I keep out the poison type because this is the only Pokemon in the game Bella can hit super effectively. She's never going to hit another Pokemon for super effective damage ever again. Last was her Vileplume, who immediately took out Bella, forcing me to bring out Burb. Vileplume landed a Stun Spore on Burb, but I prepared for this and had given Burb a Cherry Berry to hold before the battle had started. I Sand Attacked a couple times for safety, started hitting with Aerial Aces, Erica healed it, and then I finished it off with a critical Aerial Ace. Easy fight. I can now get the tea from the old lady, which gives me access to Saffron City. And in Saffron City is an incredible TM known as TM29 Psychic. And that will be integral for having Houdini be part of this team. This one TM will take Houdini from completely useless to incredible teammate who can dominate just about anything in his way. Weightlifters hate him. After that, I head over to the rocket base to take out everything that is a threat to this world and catch this amazing battle. Dwayne just can't fight Zubats. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Level 17 Zubats. Can't take him out. And oh yeah, plot twist. The guy who mentioned the lift key had the lift key. So, we got the lift key. We can now head over to the Giovanni boss fight. I did air quotes there, but I don't know if you could see them. Yeah, this barely counts as a boss fight. This fight is so incredibly easy, I don't think it should be qualified as a boss fight. Punchy dominated the first 2 Pokemon, got taken out by a fake out, and Kangaskhan went down in a self-destruct. Easy fight. And the kind Mafia boss, instead of shooting me, gives me an item, an invaluable item.
that will let me talk to ghosts. Thank you, Mafia Boss, because you just caught me Conquest. I named this ghastly conquest after my favorite spin-off Pokemon game, Pokemon Conquest. The game was in trouble as soon as it released, and with a deadly combo of absolutely no advertising whatsoever and only being released in 2 countries, it was doomed to fail. Still crossing my fingers for a remake. Sadly, I don't think that I have much need for a ghastly on my team, so Conquest is just gonna rot on the sidelines, dead and forgotten, much like the game in real life. Now that Mr. Fuji's been rescued from the Rocket Grunts, I can get the Pokefood and go wake up all the Snorlaxes. Snorlax is my favorite Pokemon, but sadly I'm not able to catch him, so I have to kill him. Part of the reason I took that alternate route at the start was because of this. Surge is a crazy tough gym leader, so I took an alternate route to make sure I got some extra levels before I came back and fought him. I think it was a good idea. Unsurprisingly, I started out with Dwayne, who immediately took out the Voltorb with taking very little damage in the process. Pikachu also just got immediately taken out from a singular magnitude, and even though Raichu tried to stack double teams, he eventually got hit and went down in 1 magnitude. I'm pretty glad I went that alternate route. After I won, Lieutenant Surge gave me a brand new move, Shockwave, and told me to teach it to an electric type. So I turned around and did not that by teaching it to Houdini. This is going to be incredible for fighting Lorelei. With that done, I ran down to Fuchsia City to fight Koga, but very quickly realized I was going to have a giant problem. Not only did the first trainer in the gym almost completely destroy me, but I realized that Koga's Pokemon are all either low 40s or high 30s. In comparison, my strongest Pokemon is Shell Slice at level 31. I am in desperate need of some levels. But before I head out for my training, I pick myself up the Good Rod. This will let us catch a new Pokemon to add to our ever-growing collection. It's in a pond right above Vermilion, so it's not going to be very hard to get. On the way there, I fight every single trainer in my path in order to get enough levels to actually be able to reasonably fight Koga. I get some pretty good levels though, so this was a worthwhile trip. Once I get to the pond, I start fishing. Luckily, the Pokemon I was looking for appeared on the first try. It was a Poliwag, who I named Unmarai. If you know what that means, feel free to comment. If you don't, I do not care. Sadly, like most of our later Pokemon though, not very useful. I already have Shell Slice, who is a much better water type by far, so this little guy's been going in the box. With my training done and my new Pokemon caught, I head back to Fuchsia for my fight against Koga. Hopefully I'm actually able to take him down. The fight starts bad out the gate. His first coughing is able to take down both Shell Slice and Burb, before finally going down when I brought out Houdini to Psychic it. Not a great start at all. Second is his Muck, but it proves easier and goes down quickly in 2 magnitudes. Third is another coughing that just goes down with a Psychic, and last is his Wheezing, who Dwayne is able to easily kamikaze for the win. That starting coughing really worried me for what was coming, but then his entire team just was a bunch of pushovers. I do have a feeling that Dwayne being able to one-shot KO his ace, though, probably did help in the easiness of that fight. After that, I head into the Safari Zone to pick up the Quick Claw, the Gold Teeth, and HM03 Surf. I should have grabbed this before I did the Koga fight, because it probably would have been more powerful than Water Gun on Shell Slice, but what are you gonna do? We still won anyway, so it doesn't matter. In addition to the items in the HM, there was also another Pokemon on here that I need to catch. That Pokemon is Dratini. It didn't take long, and I ended up catching an accidental Goldeen in the process, but when I caught him, I named my new teammate Blue Eyes. Even though Blue Eyes is the strongest Yu-Gi-Oh card in existence for the first season, Blue Eyes the Pokemon is kind of lackluster and probably isn't going to get a lot of use. Sorry, Blue Eyes. With my newly acquired Surf from the Safari Zone and Strength from the Warden, I head on over to Cinnabar to fight the Fire-type gym leader, Blaine. Better have a burn heal. First attempt started off well, with Dwayne immediately taking out his Growlithe in 1 Earthquake, but then it all just went downhill from there. His Arcanine completely walled my team. Even with Rain Dance up, his Fire Blast was still doing an insane amount of damage to every single member. I think we're gonna need some levels for this one. At least I thought we did. Then I remembered, I have Light Screen, so I taught that to Houdini. Hopefully this will put a damper on Arcanine's Fire Blast onslaught. I try again, this time with Light Screen in tow. I send out Houdini, who gets up a Reflect and a Light Screen, then takes out Growlithe with 1 Psychic. He sends out Arcanine, so I send out Shell Slice, who's now taking much less damage from Fire Blast thanks to Houdini's Light Screen. He almost goes down, but then gets an incredibly high roll Surf that finally takes the menace that is Arcanine out. With his ace Pokemon gone, Blaine becomes a much easier fight. All that's left are his weak Ponyta and his fairly strong Rapidash. While Rapidash does end up putting up a bit of a fight, it didn't stand a chance against my team, and especially not against the power of a suicidal Boulder. With Blaine done, I head back to Saffron City to do the Silph rival fight. It may seem like I'm doing stuff out of order, but believe me, this is the most optimal way. I've done this before, I swear, it's a good idea. I start off with Bella against Pidgeot, realize my mistake and switch to Dwayne. Pidgeot isn't doing much with its wing attacks though, so Dwayne easily takes it out with a couple of rock throws. I switch to Burb for his Venusaur, but immediately get put to sleep from a sleep powder. I get taken out with a couple of Razor Leafs, Burb stood no chance. I bring in Houdini, who one-shots Venusaur with a Psychic, and then Will sends out his Gyarados. Gyarados is double weak to Electric though, so I keep Houdini in and one Shockwave easily takes it out. Next is Growlithe, but it's no real threat, so I send out Dwayne, who easily takes it down in one Earthquake. Last is Alakazam, so I send out Shell Slice because he knows Bite. His Alakazam probably could have taken out my entire team if he wanted to, but instead he just decided to stack 2 Calm Minds and then use 2 Future Sights in a row, giving me the win. I just have to say, even with my script right next to me, that was a one take right there, and oh my god, that was a tongue twister. Immediately after that fight was a fight with Giovanni, but despite being a terrifying mob boss, he is actually a giant pushover. Dwayne one-shots his first 2 Pokemon with Earthquake while only taking about 2/3 of his health and damage. Then he sends out Kangaskhan, who takes out Punchy with a Mega Punch, then gets killed by being chipped down by Burb. And last is Rhyhorn, who is double weak to Grass-type moves, so Bella is able to easily take him down in one Vine Whip. How is this guy a leader of a crime syndicate, and why in the world are people afraid of him? There's a lot of big fights in this city, and the next big fight is Sabrina, the Psychic Gym Leader. Psychic type is really strong in this game, so I've been saving her for last. Like I expected, she was outrageously strong. This was my 5th attempt, and my closest attempt to actually beating her. I got her Alakazam into red, but I just couldn't finish him off. I'm gonna need just a few more levels, and then I'll probably be able to do this. I did get pretty close on my 5th attempt though, so I don't think I'm gonna need too many levels. I'm just gonna go around and knock out every single trainer I find just in the near vicinity, and then I'll come back and fight her again. I also gave Dwayne a Quick Claw, so he might be able to outspeed Alakazam or Kadabra. Like before, Kadabra sets up a Reflect, then faints in one Earthquake. Her second Pokemon is Mr. Mime, who sets up his defenses while Dwayne does minimal damage with his now very weak Earthquakes. A Psybeam took Dwayne's HP to 31, so I used Explosion and outsped because of Quick Claw. Third is Venomoth, so I send out Burb. He gets confused off the bat, but doesn't end up hitting himself and takes down Venomoth in 2 Aerial Aces. Last is the Giga Brain Goliath Alakazam. I keep out Burb, who hits a critical quick attack, but then goes down to a Psychic. Bella came out, got one shot, so I had to send out Shell Slice. Luckily, Alakazam went for a Future Sight instead of a good move, so Shell Slice was able to bite him down to finish him off. With Sabrina down, we only have one gym leader left, Giovanni. I think this battle's gonna go very easy, but you never know, he might have a couple tricks up his sleeve. If he does have a single trick, he's obviously not using it, because his first 2 Pokemon, 2 Rhyhorns, both go down from one-shots from Bella using Razor Leaf. Not a good start for him. Next is his Dugtrio, who hits even with Bella, putting them both into red. I switch in for Burb while Giovanni heals, and after hitting a fairly powerful Aerial Ace, go down in a critical Slash. I then send out Dwayne, who goes down in a critical Earthquake. I think I'm starting to see his trick. I send out Shell Slice, who is finally able to take down Dugtrio with a Bite and a Surf, but not before taking massive damage from an Earthquake. Fourth is his Nidoqueen, who outspeeds and takes out Shell Slice with an Earthquake, then gets one-shot by Houdini's Psychic. Last is his Nidoking, his ace in the hole, his strongest Pokemon, his biggest oh, it's dead. Oh, it's gone. Oh, I won. Okay, cool. After securing my new badge and heading off to fight the Elite Four, I'm stopped by Will, who wants to train on me for some experience. Sorry, Will, I'm about to crush you. The battle starts as usual, with Will's Pidgeot getting taken out by Dwayne with little to no effort on my part. God, I don't know why he keeps starting with this bird. Next is his Venusaur, so I send out my better bird to destroy his accuracy while he buffs himself. After getting off 4 sand attacks, I switched to Aerial Ace, but because of all the buffing Will had been doing, when he eventually hit me, it one-shotted. Houdini came out, but the same thing happened to him, so I sent out Dwayne. Luckily, all the sand attacks finally did something, giving Dwayne the opportunity to take out Venusaur with a couple Earthquakes. Will sent out Gyarados, so I sent out Shell Slice to try and outlast him, but his Hydro Pump did way more damage than I was expecting, and so after dealing out some decent damage with Surf, Shell Slice went down. But luckily, Dwayne came out, and since his Quick Claw activated, he took out Gyarados with one Rock Blast. His Growlithe came out, but it isn't a threat till it evolves, so it went down in an Earthquake. Next was Alakazam, but most of my team members that could handle this thing had been taken out, so I decided to use Punchy since Alakazam has low defense. I was really worried when Punchy got hit by the Future Sight because I thought she was done for, but then she held on by exactly 1 health and finished off Alakazam with a Brick Break. Oh my god, way to go, Punchy. That was an absolutely clutch move, thank you. Now that the battle's over— oh wait, it's not over. Why is it not— oh right, he had a Rhyhorn. Yeah, who cares? Who cares at this point? I didn't even remember he had a Rhyhorn. Alright, now that the battle is over, I have access to Victory Road and the Elite Four, but the Elite Four are going to be much more difficult than every battle we've had so far. Some trainers I've been able to cheese despite being a lower level than them, but when I'm facing incredibly powerful, fully evolved Pokemon back to back, I'm gonna need a perfect blend of power and cheese as opposed to just one or the other. Alright, so this is my team at the end of Victory Road. There is no way that this is strong enough to take on the Elite Four. The first Elite Four member, Lorelei, has a team consisting of all low-level to mid-level 50 Pokemon. We definitely need to buff the team at least a little bit. Obviously, grinding is a necessity, so I do a little bit of that to get us to at least equal level to Lorelei's Pokemon. But I also have more ways to up our team power. In the game corner are items that can boost the damage of moves of a specific type. They correspond to water, fire, and grass. Fire is useless to me, but water and grass will be great for Shell Slice and Bella. And the other thing I have in my arsenal of buffs is the many power point-ups hidden around the map. Finding lots of these will allow me to use my more powerful moves for longer, and lower the chance of me running out of them during battle. With my prep done, I attempt the fight, but oh my god, she is way too powerful. Her Lapras is destructive. That thing hits like a truck and does not take damage no matter how much I throw at it. I'm gonna need either another strategy, more levels, or both. I try a few more times, but I never actually end up getting that far. One time I got to her Jinx, but it still was able to take me out and I had no chance against it. I think I know what I need though. I have the TM for Calm Mind. If I teach that to Houdini and he's able to set up enough Calm Minds, I might be able to sweep her team without getting taken out. Hope this works. Since her Dugong is probably her weakest party member, I decide to start setting up on it. I get off a light screen to stop myself from taking a lot of damage, and then set up 4 Calm Minds so that I can do maximum damage. Well, not maximum, it's 6 is the max, but anyways. Then I just start sweeping her team with Shockwave. Every single Pokemon is a one-shot, except for her Jinx, because it's not weak to electric attacks. Luckily, even though it froze me, I thawed out in the first turn, and at that point, she was done for and just kept full restoring until I eventually took her out. Next was Bruno, but he is so outrageously weak, I don't even know if there's a reason to mention him. He is actually a weaker Elite Four member than Lorelei, and I've never had a problem with him, because he is just awful. He is awful. He's got 2 Onyxes, which are both bad Pokemon, and then 3 fighting types. Needless to say, Houdini took him out pretty easily, and Bella was able to finish off the Onyxes with little to no resistance whatsoever. She did go down from the Machamp at the very end, but I still had 5 party members left at that point. I was in no trouble at all. The third member is Agatha, and while she can be a trouble sometimes when you do this fight, my 2 best party members are a Psychic type and a Ground type, so I was in no trouble at all. Houdini and Dwayne took out the first 4 Pokemon with little to no effort at all. It was outrageously easy. And just so Houdini and Dwayne weren't the only ones having all the fun, I sent out Burb near the very end to take on her Gengar. It was pretty easy though, because all it took was a bunch of sand attacks to make him completely unable to use any moves, and since Burb is part normal, he couldn't do much damage. Then I was able to just chip him down with Aerial Ace, and after a finishing fly, battle was over. Very easy fight. The last member of the Elite Four is Dragon Trainer Lance, whose team is made up of 60% Dragon-type Pokemon. Way to be a Dragon Trainer there, buddy. The first non-dragon of his is Gyarados, but it's double weak to Electric, so it goes down on 1 Shockwave from Houdini. Next is Aerodactyl, who loses half health from Houdini's Shockwave, then takes out Houdini with a Hyper Beam. It had to recharge though, so Shell Slice came out and was easily able to finish it off with a Surf. Third was Dragonair, who took massive damage from a Cross Chop, but then 2-hit Punchy and got healed back to full by Lance. Damn it, it can't be an Elite Four member without knowing how to full spam restores. Luckily, Burb was able to take it out with 2 Aerial Aces and a Fly, despite getting paralyzed and hit with a Hyper Beam. Next is his second Dragonair, who finishes off Burb with an Outrage, then two-shots Bella with the same Outrage, while only taking a little bit of damage from Acid. Dwayne comes out and lives its fourth Outrage, then hits back with an Earthquake that KO'd. Last is Dragonite, but like every other boss mon, it stands no chance against an exploding Quick Claw Geodude. Everything is led up to this moment, and now it's time for the final obstacle standing in my way. Will. It's been a long road for both of us, my friend, but now you will perish. As is tradition, he starts off with Pidgeot, who Dwayne takes out with little effort on my part. Next is his Rhyhorn, who Shell Slice is able to one-shot with a quad super effective Surf. Third is his Venusaur, so I send out Burb, who does decent damage but gets taken out by a Solar Beam, forcing me to bring in Houdini to finish Venusaur off. Fourth is Will's Gyarados, so I keep out Houdini, who takes Gyarados into red with a Shockwave, then takes 40 damage from Dragon Rage. Will then spams a couple full restores, but it's futile, and Houdini eventually takes him out with a final Shockwave. Fifth is Will's Arcanine, so I send out Shell Slice, who takes Arcanine below half with a Surf, and then goes down. Luckily though, I still have Dwayne, who finishes off Arcanine with an Earthquake. Last is Will's Alakazam, so I send out Houdini to set up a light screen and chip away at his health a little bit with a Psychic. When Houdini went down, I sent out Punchy just to see if she could make a 1 health miracle happen again. She could not. So I brought out Dwayne, but it was just as the light screen wore off, so he was one-shotted by a Psychic, leaving me with only Bella. Bella can't beat Will's Alakazam though, unless she somehow gets lucky with Will's move choice being awful, and, also lands a crit. But I don't think that could ever Oh my god! And with that, we won! We have beaten this, we did it! All thanks to Bella and her incredible RNG! Wow, what a finale to this incredible challenge. What a beautiful ending for it all to just come down to Bella clutching it out. That's incredible. I think that this was the best possible scenario for the ending of my first ever Pokemon challenge video. I really do want to do this again, but I just had an absolutely painful time making this first one. The game itself wasn't the problem. The problem arises when you try to edit an hour and a half of limited video footage into a half an hour long video with only a tablet. My biggest problem when it came to making this was trying to record my footage, because I only have a limited amount of space to work with. I'm not Scott the Woz, I don't have a giant storage area that can fit 50 hours of continuous gameplay footage to be rummaged through for whatever I need. I have figured out much better methods for this though, so my next challenge probably won't be as much of a pain to make. All in all, this was a good time, and I look forward to maybe making some of these in the future. Also, you can all feel free to comment any challenges that you would like to see, and I may actually look at a couple of them. Make sure to just put something like challenge idea so I can sort out what's a challenge idea and what's just a normal comment though. If you enjoyed the video, that's good. This is supposed to be entertainment. That's what I'm going for here. And if you didn't, then look behind you! I've got a lot of backed up Pokemon openings that will be coming out soon, so you can look forward to that. And with everything said and done, have a good one everyone. See ya!